Greetings. This is Dr. Rick Upchurch, and I'm going to give you a quick pivot table tutorial. There are a lot of things about pivot tables that you probably would be advantaged to learn, but what I'm going to demonstrate in this short tutorial is how to set up a pivot table relatively quickly to get information that will make a big difference for you. All right, you can see on the screen before you a list of coffees. You can see they're broken into columns: month, product, state, and the amount of sales. If I double click, see my cursor moves so that it's showing both ways. Double click there, it broadens it out. Same thing there, so that I can see all the pieces. The first thing you have to know in a pivot table is to make sure that all of the cells have data in them. If all the cells have data in them, then you are going to be able to get a reliable pivot table. Not so much if not, so you may need to fill in some tables, but that's an extended lesson. We're only looking at a spreadsheet that has all the cells filled in. So here we go. I now click anywhere in the space and I go up here and hit Insert. Insert, I choose Pivot Table. Now this is not as frightening as it seems. For those of you who have never done this before, you've probably been somewhat intimidated. This is not that intimidating. I'm going to show you why and how. So I click on that. My cursor being located on the spreadsheet automatically is going to select the edges of all of that, to include all of the edges of your spreadsheet. So this is the full spreadsheet. You don't have to worry about doing anything there. You don't have to do this necessarily, although you could. But what this is going to do is put a new worksheet, a new tab on the bottom. Okay? Notice down here it creates a new tab. You can rename that if you want. Double click twice and put in pivot table, and you can create multiple tabs like that if you choose to. Notice when you click in the pivot table, it opens up this right-hand field, right-hand table or column of data. You click outside of it, it goes away. That's important because if you're in here working with your data and you click somewhere and you don't have your column, it's because you're not inside of your pivot table. So I'm inside my pivot table and I have month. Well, I want month to be rows, and I want product to be rows. And notice how it's separated my product here by each month. And then I want the sales to come over here under values. And notice it says sum of values. So it is automatically calculating the sum of these values. But it doesn't help me know where the state is. So I'm going to push the state over here into columns. So now all of a sudden I can see this. Now this sum of sales, I'm going to choose value settings, and I'm going to hit number format, and I'm going to pick currency. And I could have picked decimal places or not, as I chose to. I left it that way. So now it's changed the values. All right, so now I've got a quick spreadsheet that shows me the values, the total values of the coffee for each month, as well as a total for the month for each state and a grand total. You can see how this can be immediately helpful to you. And there are some things you can do to shift the data around. You can pull product over here and you can pull state down here. Now I can look by state and look at the information this way. You can set your sum of sales by hitting your value field. You can change it to the number, which isn't really helpful in this particular spreadsheet. Average, min, max, product, you can change all of that. You can also show the value as percent of grand total. Well, that might be interesting. So this is percent of, let's go percent of row total. All right, we'll hit OK, and now instead of showing it as amount, now we're looking at California blend of Arabica as 11.8% of the row total, and the volcano blend being the highest one. All of this does is allow you to get your information in here, spin it in a way that's going to allow you to be able to see at a glance information to make data-driven decisions. There's a lot you can do with this, and we'll talk some more about some options later on. But as you can see from just this quick little example, there is a lot that can be done very quickly in a pivot table. It doesn't affect your data in any way. It doesn't corrupt it. It puts it in a separate tab, so it's harmless and yet incredibly powerful. Hope you have found this useful.